Have you ever been burglarized, Eric Stromer?
You know, I have not. I've been very fortunate, but now I feel like I'm going to do these plans.
You're going to do this stuff?
I'm going to rehearse tonight.
Cindy Dole, Eric Stromer, Home Wizards, where we love to help you improve your home and your life. And part of that, of course, is home safety, no matter where you live. I was burglarized when I was right out of college, living alone. And luckily, you know, I wasn't there. I would prefer a burglary to a home invasion any day. But I remember how angry I was. I mean, the stuff they took was really silly stuff. It wasn't of huge value. I didn't have that much stuff. But boy, was I mad. I felt like they really got a piece of me. Literally, they got a piece of my soul, you know.
Yeah.
Darn them. And I think that the police, and I was in Arizona at the time, I think they got him, luckily. But Chris McGoey is the crime doctor, and he's seen all this stuff as a private investigator and a consultant and crime prevention expert. So, Chris, you've really given us some smart stuff. I love the idea of having your fire extinguisher on hand and having that as an emergency weapon if some people come and try to get you.
Well, you got to think about it. You have to talk about it. It has to be, you know, well placed so you'll know in an emergency that it's possibly there to use. Otherwise, it'll never cross your mind.
I could use my hairspray too. I
guess. I think I'm going to have clubs, hatchets, hammers, screwdrivers just lined up all over the house.
Random things.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about just, you know, you mentioned the home inventory, and you know, when I was burglarized, I didn't know what I had, but now more recently, my husband and I have had that home inventory where they take photos of. We had a company come in to help us, and they logged everything. They took photos of everything, and now we have it on a DVD. But then the catch is you've got to update your home inventory, right?
Yes, but you're even if you wait a couple of years, you're still going to be 90% there probably.
And the reason why people don't do it is it's kind of daunting. I mean, you've got to go through and list everything that you own, but it sure does help to then recoup some of the cost, huh?
Yeah, but you know what else it did, that exercise?
What was that?
As you go through, you probably threw out a lot of junk.
That's true. We love to do that.
You found out where things were.
Oh, yeah, 3 coffee bean grinders and, 5 whatevers.
And if you're doing it for a burglary prevention tool, you're going to find things that were left unsecured, and you might take the opportunity to secure them, back up some things. You'll be able to copy some things, be able to replace some things. So it's really a great eye-opening exercise.
And I think that what you're helping us do is, there's so many of these things in our lives where we just kind of put it off, whether it is earthquake safety or fire safety and now crime safety. We don't want to think about it. We think it's never going to happen to us. But when you kind of shake us down and make us realize, just go through the exercise now, all of a sudden you feel so much braver.
And here, and here's another thing, not to put the guilt trip on Eric here, but he kind of keeps saying things that trigger thoughts.
Yes.
Many times after these catastrophic, like home invasions where there's serious injuries or deaths or something, there's always a lot of what-ifs and blame game that goes on after. And I've investigated many crime where there's a marital breakup after this because the husband didn't protect the family, didn't use that alarm system that
the
we
guilt
had,
trip,
or didn't replace those locks, or didn't do this or didn't do that, or didn't protect me, just laid there frightened and watched me get attacked. And it becomes a real issue. So you need to think about it. And I talked to, I don't want to drop a name, but I did an interview with Geraldo once, and he absolutely refused, playing this what-if game, that there was a home invasion and him and his wife were captured. Even if he had the chance to escape, he wouldn't do it. He says, I can never leave my wife alone. I would never, ever do it. Even though he was probably fully capable of getting away and getting the police coming, and probably the invaders would have left, and probably there'd be no damage. But I told him, Geraldo, I guarantee you that if they subdue you and tie you up and leave you lying on the floor, you may witness her assault or murder. And so you have to at least consider that, and you have to talk to her about that and see how she feels about it rather than just assume it, and then come up with a plan. And then if the plan is that you're both going to stick together no matter what, then that's it. Then there's no discussion later. But believe me, many times the discussion goes the other way, that you should have done something to protect me and you didn't.
What about some of the things just to deter, detect, and delay the everyday burglar? I mean, if we do slow them down, whether it's a dog barking or that fake TV that you love. I love that fake TV. Tell everybody about that.
Yeah, I have a couple of them. In fact, I've talked about it so much that the manufacturer likes me and keeps sending me free ones.
Good. Send us a couple.
But I don't like to plug products, but I use fake TV, and it works. I mean, it looks like there's a TV on in a room. It kind of flickers behind the translucent shade. Everything works in burglary prevention. Light timers work, the TV on, the radio on, the dog works.
I'm a little concerned about Hazel, my Labradoodle. I don't think she'd be much help. She'll probably just lay down and look at the burglar, and that'll be it.
Well, I got a big "Beware a Dog" sign on my gate, and I don't even have a dog. So your
Okay.
Labradoodle is probably more of a dog than I have.
Yeah.
But it works at some level. Someone's going to come by and see the "Beware a Dog" sign, and that is going to be enough for certain burglars. Now, when I have workers come over to the house and do work inside, I will tell them, hold on outside while I go take the dog and put him in the garage. I don't have a dog. So I'm always using this phantom dog just to let people know that there might be someone here to nip you in the rear if you come back. Or if I have somebody else in, I might say I have to go in and turn off the alarm, or I have to do this or that, or don't go in that room because there's an alarm set. Or if I have workers in the house, I might close all the doors to the house, and I'll tell them, if I was a woman, my husband's in the other room working, don't go back there. Or, you sort of give them a clue that there's other things going on here.
So you've never been a victim of crime, have you?
No.
So there.
I'm not going to win your
And then how about a glass front door? Is that a bad idea?
What do you think?
I mean, yes.
Glass breaks.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty.
Mm-hmm.
The solution, and this is a stupid statement, but it's true, the solution is to live in a good neighborhood. If you live in a good neighborhood, your odds are less. But if you live in a big city, urban area, your odds are great of being burglarized. So a glass door is not going to be good in that setting.
Right.
But maybe out in some nice, quote, nice part of town, then maybe it's perfectly fine to have a nice, beautiful architecture and glasswork. But most burglars are going to come through open doors, open windows. I mean, I could take you guys in my car. We could drive to almost any neighborhood, and within a couple of minutes, we're going to see a garage door standing open.
Can we get a home security inspection from local law enforcement? Can we call them up and say, hey, can you help us? Or where do you go to have someone kind of survey, how safe or not safe your place is?
In our world, the short answer is honestly no. The big cities all have crime prevention departments, but they're cutting them back now big time. And I train these guys throughout the year on what to do and how to do it and everything. They're just too busy, or they're doing 5,000 other things. But they will gladly come out and do neighborhood watch programs and things. But to expect them to come out and do a really good survey for you, probably not.
But we can find people like you, private consultants who can help maybe, huh?
Yeah, I'm usually too expensive for the average homeowner, but they can call me up. I'll talk to anybody.
Okay.
They could send an email to me, and I'll tell them, do this, X, Y, or Z.
Well, we have your website up on our site at yourhomewizards.com. Chris McGoey, thanks, the Crime Doctor, for giving us some good stuff, as always. And, he speaks so smart. He has never been a victim of crime, and there's a reason for that.
I've been scared into transition. I think this was really effective.
So
for
you've
me.
got some homework to do, don't you, my friend?
You bet.
But I think we can all have these, home security practice drills for everything that goes on. So thanks, you guys, for listening to Home Wizards. Check out yourhomewizards.com. You can see links to all the folks that we've been talking with and talking about today. And, of course, follow us on Facebook because the conversation goes on throughout the week. Until next Saturday, have a great one. And remember this, the key's under the mat. Bye-bye.